Hi, I'm Ryan.
I'm Louisa.
On today's podcast, we talk about Christmas, we talk about presents, we talk about all kinds of things, but nothing more important than the life of a Smurf.
This is Pastor Ryan on Answering Louisa.
Hey, everybody. Glad you are tuned back in again for this week's podcast. With me, as always, is my friend Louisa. She's got another round of questions ready to go, and we're just going to open it up as always. Louisa, what do you got for us today?
Okay. Did God create all angels with corrupt emotions in their heart?
Whoa. Okay, good question. Did God create all angels with corrupt emotions in their heart?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me challenge the premise of the question.
Okay.
I don't think God created any angels with corrupt feelings in their heart.
Yeah.
I think he created them all perfectly because he's perfect. But I do think that he endowed every one of them with free will. So it is that free will that led to their corruption. Essentially, they took the free will that God gave them and exercised it in a active revolt against his leadership over his godship of everything. And that's what led to their corruption and to their fall, was the misuse of the gift of free will. Or I guess it's a right use of free will to be able to make a free choice. They just made a bad one, which you have to be able to do. You have to be able to make a bad choice in order to have the freedom to make a good one.
Yeah.
How's that sound? So not so much that he made some persnickety, he didn't make Grumpy Smurf angel. Did you watch the Smurfs growing up?
I did.
We watch a lot of Smurfs in my house right now. And each of the Smurfs, they have a particular characteristics with which they're made from. So the angels, there was no Grumpy Smurf. That was... I'm telling you, we watch a lot of Smurfs right now. Okay, let's keep going. That. If you were a Smurf, which Smurf would you be?
It's been a long time since I've seen them, so I do not know.
Can I make some suggestions?
Okay.
You could be Reedy Smurf.
That would make sense.
There wasn't a Reedy Smurf, but if there was, it would be because you read a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
More than a lot.
Yeah. Runny Smurf, because you run. It's not like maybe your defining character. Questiony Smurf. That could be, yeah?
That could be a Smurf.
Yeah. Okay, so what Smurf would I be?
You would be the Pastor Smurf.
Pastor Smurf. I like that. No one start calling me Pastor Smurf. I will not answer to Pastor Smurf. I was thinking Brainy Smurf, Talky Smurf, I don't know, something, but Pastor Smurf.
I think I'm going to have to call you Pastor Smurf from now on.
Oh, man. How did this episode go so wrong so quickly? Let's move on to another question that has nothing to do with Smurfs if you Smurf.
Do blind and deaf people still have their disabilities in heaven?
What a great question. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about a previous episode where we talked to Jason Vickers. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. You asked him about memories in heaven, and he talked about how our experiences here shape, our experience of who God is, and we carry that forward. I am going to say that I don't think that we have anything that would be considered a disability in heaven. I think part of this is I think our senses are different. Here we have the 5 senses. Mm-hmm. Do you know what they are?
Yeah.
What? I don't know if I can remember them all, so let's do this together.
Sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing.
Hearing, yeah. Okay. So I think in heaven we have spiritual senses. So I don't think we'll have any deficits that would prevent us from fully enjoying the presence of God, the community of the saints, in their fullness. God talks about wiping away every tear from every eye, that there would be no more tears, no more crying, no more sorrow, no more death, no more decay in heaven. So I'm going to just step out. I don't know for sure because I've not been there. But I'm going to step out and say definitely no disabilities. As far as particularly blindness and hearing, I'm not sure they operate the same way in heaven as they do on earth, because I think we're led by our spiritual sense, not our physical sense. We still have physical selves, but I think our communication, our interactions are Edenic more than the way they are now.
I'm going to pretend I know what that word means.
Edenic, as in from the Garden of Eden.
I figured it has something to do with that.
The magic village where all the Smurfs lived before the fall.
With their Pastor Smurf.
Oh my gosh. All right. Go ahead, funny Smurf.
Can angels fight with humans, and if they can, do they get hurt?
Do the angels get hurt or do the people get hurt? Both, either? Yeah, I do. Let's see. I do want to say that angels can and do fight with humans. Mm-hmm. Particularly, we see that in the demonic. So the fallen angels, we see them contending against man, mm-hmm. fighting them. And I do see people hurt by demonic spirits. You see it in Scripture. Jesus would come across someone who had a demon. He'd cut himself. He'd throw himself down, try to drown himself. The demon would make so there's examples of a demon, a fallen angel, hurting people. So I have to believe that it's possible then, right, for angels and humans to fight. Can the angel be hurt? Not in the way maybe that humans are, like physically, mm-hmm. but we do know that at the end of all time, Christ will cast demons down into the fire, to the mm-hmm. abyss. We're told that, the Son of Man will put his heel on the serpent's head and crush him. Yeah. That's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would guess that they can be diminished in ways, if not physically harmed. Like, they're not going to get a cut on their body, but they can be diminished, yeah. Mm. Any easier questions today? I'm just asking for a friend.
Did the tradition of giving gifts on Christmas start with the wise men giving the gifts to Jesus?
Well, I think certainly
I thought that would be an easy one.
It is. I mean, you would think it would be. It's a Google question. I think that's as good a reason for it to have started as any. I think the idea, though, is of course that Christ is the gift at Christmas, and that we express our gratitude to God and to one another by those exchange of gifts around his birthday. I don't think that gift giving just started with the wise men, though. Like, I don't think when, Christmas wasn't a thing till after Easter was a thing, number one. Because nobody was celebrating Christmas until after Easter, and then even more some years later. But yeah, I mean, I think most people probably see that as the inaugural tradition, which, just on behalf of Louisa and I, if you're going to choose a gift for us this Christmas, you can keep the frankincense and myrrh, but gold, yeah? I mean...
Books.
Golden books.
Could you read golden books?
I mean, I could figure out a way to read it. I could try. All right. Very good. All right. What else do you got? That was a good one.
Were the wise men, actually kings?
Were the wise men actually kings? I am having deja vu. Did we not talk about this on a previous episode?
Okay.
I'm just having deja vu then.
Well,
okay. It's okay. It's good. We can answer again. Or not. Or the first time. Somebody who's watched all the episodes will call and tell us at some point. Here's what I want to say. We know that they were nobility of sort. They were religious scholars. I would more compare them today to theological professors. So their responsibility was to study the heavens and study the sacred texts of scriptures, not necessarily just our scriptures, but world scriptures of all the different civilizations, study the skies and try to make predictions about what was happening. So they were like royal advisors to the king. In that sense, they were treated nobly, and it is possible they were from noble family, noble birth, but it would be more accurate to describe the wise men as religious scholars or academics of some sort that advised the king.
So they were Pastor Smurfs.
They were Pastor Smurfs. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I think on that Smurf note, we're going to Smurf this to a close.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing about the Smurfs is how they use the word Smurf as a noun, a verb, adjective, adverb, whatever. Anything you just substitute with the word Smurf.
Okay.
So until next time, we hope you have a Smurfy week. Bye.